Today we're reviewing the ENGWE X26 electric 26-inch folding bike with magnesium wheels. It has 30 amp hours of battery, so you will get lots of range. It has full suspension, front, middle, and rear suspension. The back has a place for a seat, but you can also remove that seat and use it as a bike rack and put a bag on there if you want. It does have a headlight and tail light like most bikes these days, and the tail light also functions as a brake light. The weird thing about this bike, it does have a battery in the frame because it is a folding bike, so similar to some of the 20-inch folding bikes, this folds in half. So I'm going to show you a couple things on the ENGWE X26, and the very first one we're going to go through is how to fold this bike. Now, I've seen some people struggle with this, but I'm going to show you how I do it, and there's a couple of reasons I do it this way, and a couple things that I think if you really do have to fold this bike, that can help you. So if you look down here, you have your little locking switch slider thing here, so you got to slide that forward, and then just that releases it and it opens up. And then this is a pretty decent sized bike, 26 by 4 inch electric bike. So what I do is I'll grab onto the frame right here and just kind of roll it over like this. Now unfortunately there is nowhere for you to rest it, so it stays like this. You have to lay it down on the side, and really the only way to lay it down on the side is to lay it down on the derailleur right here. We got to fold it to put the battery in. You just grab right here on the frame and then grab right here on the handlebar and just rotate like that, and then grab here and just set it down on the ground. And that's how I do it. This bike is so awkward to fold up, and it's super heavy, so you're going to need somebody to help you lift it up in your car if you are going to do it. I could probably lift this up into a hatchback by myself, but trying to fit this in a trunk or something like that, the back of a truck bed would be pretty good for this too. I don't know how much room it really saves you, but if you're going to do this, you're definitely going to want to take the batteries out anyways. Alright, here's the ENGWE battery. Before you get started, you want to just make sure that this, when you slide it in, is going to be at the right angle. So you just slide it in like so, and just kind of wiggle it in place, and then hit it. And this does have a little handle here, so whenever you unlock it, you can easily pull it out. So make sure that that's closed. One thing I would suggest to you would be to get some of those little felt pads to put on here, and that way when you slide it in, it's more secure. It doesn't rattle around and stuff like that. So there's that. Next thing you do, and this is the hardest part, is taking the bike and lifting it up and folding it out. Now we might be in a predicament here because of the kickstand, but there we go. And just make sure you don't smash your finger. Once you get it to this point, rest it on the kickstand and just make sure it's tight right here, and your first battery's in. Onto the second battery, which is the seat post battery. You got to unlock your seat post clamp, and this thing is huge, so you can see it's almost up to my chest all the way at the tallest point. So if you are a really tall person, this bike will be good for you because this is really tall as well. When I ride, I usually have it on the lowest setting, maybe a little bit more elevated, but you can just do this, clamp it down. So once you have your seat in the right spot, clamp it down, push on that, and that's all you got to do. From here, you'll take your cable and you will screw it on the back. There is a arrow. That arrow lines up with the top, and then you just tighten it down righty tighty. Now your charging port for the seat post battery is right here. You got your little rubber grommet for protecting it during weather. There's also a port here to charge the frame battery. So just pull this out. While the battery is in the bike, you can charge it. If you pull the battery out like I do for storage, then you can charge both of these batteries off the bike as well. So on this bike, you have to push in this battery button, this power button, or you won't be using this battery at all. You can still ride the bike with this battery off if you only want to use this frame battery, but if you want to use both batteries, you just turn this on and you're good to go. So that's 30 amp hours of battery by using both of them. This is 20, this is 10. Now a couple oddities from previous versions of this bike. I have the most current X26, so on the previous version it used to have a port back here where you had to pull the cable off the battery and plug it in to use the second battery as a backup battery. Now they're blended, so you got 30 amp hours total. The other thing with previous versions, on previous versions, to charge this battery, you used to have to fold the bike, take the battery out, and charge it that way. It only had one way of charging. Now with the updated version, it has a port right here to charge this frame battery. So no more folding the bike to get the battery out to get it to work. That's what the previous versions were like, and I'm glad that they fixed that issue before I got mine. Alright, day 2 on the ENGWE X26. Some things that I gathered after my first day. Make sure you turn the power button on your battery. That way you are using both batteries at the same time. With a total of 30 amp hours, I would believe we should be able to get pretty good speed and be able to keep it. Now what I have noticed is that it's very low torque, so it doesn't do very good on hills. But as you can see here, we're using throttle only. We're in normal mode, so I'll kick it into sport, but it won't last long. I just gotta wait for the perfect opportunity. Now if you pedal, you're going to probably get a little bit more torque, but if you turn it to sport mode, it only lasts for a little bit. It doesn't last the whole time. So let's kick it in sport here once I get past this Jeep. I wish I had a mirror. Okay, now we're in sport. There is a car behind us. We're doing 21 miles an hour with pedal assist 5. It takes a little bit for the motor to engage. We're still in sport mode though, so let's try the throttle. See if we get any more speed. We're not going to Highway 30, so hopefully we'll avoid this car behind us. I can't see, I don't have a mirror. I hate not having a mirror. I need to get there. Somebody needs to make a mirror that you can just clamp on, like my cell phone holder. That would be amazing. There's an idea for somebody out there. Make a clamping mirror that actually works good and stays in the right position. Alright, so we're gonna go full throttle here. I'm gonna get up here to the street, but we're gonna do 0 to whatever in sport right now, and I'll try to not stop if I can. I might have to slow down, but let's do full throttle, no pedal assist, and see how fast we get from 0 to 20 and then beyond. Yeah, I gotta stop. Well, we got the 25. This is a very unique bike though. You get lots of people looking at you, trying to figure out what it is. It is very unique. The frame's unique. The seat post is unique. The wheels, rims, they're unique. Lots of unique things about this bike, and I really like it. I think it is really, really cool looking. And if we could just keep sport enabled, that would be nice. Let's go up this hill. We're gonna pedal to help it if we need to. We're still in sport mode, it hasn't changed yet. And this is a fairly steep hill. Still in sport mode, thumb throttle only, and we are slowly climbing this hill at 6 miles an hour. And it looks like the motor is struggling. I don't want it to crap out on me, so we're gonna help it by pedaling. Even pedaling at the lowest gear. And we're back in the normal mode. I didn't touch anything, it just did it automatically. But yeah, it didn't do very good up those hills, did it? Now I have other single motor bikes that can climb that hill pretty decently, so I would think that this one should be able to as well. So it has 3 different speed modes. They're called normal, sport, and eco. So eco is the one that's going to give you the most battery life, be able to travel the furthest, and give you less power. Normal is your normal ride speed and power, and then sport is max. Now I have tested these independently thoroughly, and they're kind of weird. So if you have it in sport mode, you can only travel in sport mode at the max speed. The normal doesn't hit the max speed, and the eco doesn't hit the max speed, which makes sense. The only problem is sport mode is only available for a short period of time, which is 2 minutes. After that 2-minute period, it goes off, and you cannot re-enable it until 10 minutes later, or by powering off the bike and powering it back on mid-ride. So unfortunately, that's the way this is set up. You can only use sport mode for a short period of time, and it's really only supposed to be used for speed burst and needing to like climb hills or something, and then it doesn't activate again until 10 minutes later. And that's really just to conserve battery, and I don't really know if you need that, but it has that feature. The other thing is you can go into the menus by hitting the plus and minus, and you can personalize your menus by going into personalization. You can change the different PAS levels, so you can do 0 through 3, 1 through 3, 0 through 5, 1 through 5, 0 through 7, 1 through 7, 0 through 9, and 1 through 9. And you can program each one of those to a different percentage. Default, you'll be in 0 through 5. So 0 will kill the throttle. So if you have it in 0, your throttle will always be off. If you want to have it to where your throttle is always on, you can switch that to 1 through 5. So it's got a little bit of customization, which is pretty nice. And then you hit both of these to go back. And you can have auto headlights, so if it's dark, it'll automatically turn on. And it does have cruise control, which I haven't been able to figure out yet. It has not worked for me, but I might not be doing it right, and I've only had a short time with this bike. So that's the screen and how it works. It's really nice and easy to follow. I just don't like the eco, normal, and sport mode. I think there's too much programming for what you get, and they should just make it easy. The other thing about this bike is the horn button is right here. The horn button is easy to press, and when I'm normally riding with a thumb throttle, I always rest my finger here, so I end up always tapping this horn button, and sometimes can scare people. So that just something to note there as well. We got our Shimano Tourney derailleur with 8 speeds with a trigger shifter up here. We got our standard Welgo metal pedals, double walled chain guard for protection and so your chain doesn't fall off. Here's your shock. This is the middle shock, and it's only got a little bit of travel here, so I don't know how well that's going to work, but so far everything seems pretty good. Here's your rear shock back here. It is coil. You can adjust the coil as well as add air up here in this valve, so you can adjust those as well. That's nice that they're fully adjustable. The biggest feature to me on this bike is the mag wheels, and the mag wheels do really look sharp. I haven't seen a 26-inch electric bike yet with these mag wheels. Now I've seen these on 20-inch rims quite often. I'd much rather have mag wheels than spokes. They're just less maintenance, a little bit more durable. Don't have to worry about spokes breaking. The only problem is if you accidentally break one of those middle spokes, these wheels are pretty expensive, so to replace them, you definitely have to replace the whole wheel, not just a spoke. They're fairly durable, so you shouldn't really ever have to worry about that, but you never know. In the back, here's your tail light with the rear seat, and the rear seat is removable. It comes in the box just packaged up, so you have to install this, and basically you just put it on here, slide it forward, and there's a little screw that goes back here. But that's the rear seat and rear tail light. You can see how it's got that really neat looking designed frame. I think it looks really cool. I could do without the folding part of it, but at least it does fold for people that would like to carry it with them. This bike is incredibly heavy, so lifting it up and putting it in your car and maneuvering it around is probably not something I would advise, but definitely pretty neat that it does that. And then it gives you an extra battery. The front shocks up here are fully adjustable. You do have a rebound, and you have the compression adjustment over there on the right. You got these really nice handlebars. They're just standard like mountain bike handlebars. I've never seen this control panel before. That's pretty new, but this display is pretty familiar. And then over here on your thumb throttle, you have a horn, and that's what it sounds like. It's pretty loud. I think it would probably scare pedestrians if you were like behind them and you honked it, because it is kind of high pitched, but maybe not. I don't know. Haven't tried that yet. Haven't got that far. Over here you have your trigger shifter. It's 8 speeds, so you just push up here to go down, and then there's another trigger right here, and that is how you go up gears. So down. So here is your mag wheels. Really nice shape. I like the design. Looks really cool going down the road, and you don't see these 26-inch bikes with mag wheels very often. Not at this price, at least. Now it does have 180 millimeter rotors and hydraulic calipers here. No name calipers. I would guess that it's Tektro, just with no logo on it, but I don't know for sure. But they are hydraulic. They have been working great, stopping this big bike And yeah, really nice. Front headlight right up here. All your wiring's really nice and managed. It does go up under the frame, so it is exposed on the bottom, which it's super high off the ground. I don't think you're ever going to have to worry about damaging the cables, but because there's a battery in the frame here, they can't really run it in the frame, at least not on this type of bike. So this is really the only option. It would be nice if they could figure out a way to route those cables all the way back to the bike in the frame and hide them from the elements and make it look a little bit more sleek. But regardless, this bike is really neat looking. I think it stands out among the crowd. If you guys are interested in learning more about this bike or picking one up, you can use my link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so if you do click on it and purchase, I do get credit for the sale with no additional cost to you. If I have any coupon codes, I will leave them down in the description because they do change often. If you have any questions, go down to the comment section. I'm always there to help out if you need anything answered. I will get you the answer if I don't know what it is. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified when I upload videos. And I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching and have a good day.